Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the iRacing Esports Network and to Apex Racing TV for the Apex Racing League Touring Car Championship. We're here at Interlagos, Brazil, and it is the first round of the Showdown here in Sao Paulo. Hello, everybody. I'm Andrew Woodhouse alongside Adam Bath, and Sam Kumo is going to be providing the camera coverage for you today. And, well, Adam, the Showdown begins here today. It's a terrific circuit for it. It's going to be so much fun.
Yeah, looking forward to it. It's the start of a pretty frantic 4 weeks where the top 10 in the championship are pretty much reset in terms of points, only a few points between them, and they go at it for the championship. Of course, that doesn't mean that everybody else is excluded from the races. Oh no, we've got about 35 cars registered for the 3 races we've got coming up, and they'll all be fighting for various positions on the track as well. Plus, we've got the Pro-Am points and the Teams Championship to contest as well over the next 4 weeks. So yeah, the championship just goes up another gear now as we begin the run into what looks set to be one of the closest championships yet.
Yeah, and there's so many drivers who can take the win here, of course. And here is the standings. This is after the regular season, so the points will be reset, but we do have the top 10 drivers locked in. Cedric, Cooper, Palmer, Thompson, Harrod, McFarlane, Balfour, Baker, Rushworth, and Sutton. Wildcards, I'm afraid I don't have that information to hand myself, but 2 wildcards in on race wins. Adam, I'm just looking out there as well at the AM category, and I think that's going to be really hard fought as well.
Oh yeah, it is. And if these points are anything to go off, which I think were calculated at the end of the regular season, it was exceptionally close there. Luke Cooper and Pete Newman, who had really come on leaps and bounds this season. Newman, in particular, last week at Watkins Glen was competing at the front for race victories there. So these guys have done fantastic throughout the season. Adam Hedgecock, Mark Woodhouse, Lee Berridge boosted have done really well too. Rob Sutherland, Simtech, their first season in the championship, they are looking set to contest that, and then Simon Field, Johnston, Bunn, Roberts competing in the top 10 in the overall standings. I can't remember the numbers in terms of how many of the Pro-Ams go through to the Showdown there, but yeah, exceptionally close at the end of the regular season. There is Jack Sedgwick,
It's
overall
5, isn't it? I believe
it's a 5, yeah.
I think it's usually 5. Yeah, so we'll bring it as it goes today as well.
And we've got
look at the time by Ross Balfour though.
Yeah,
3/10 clear of anybody else at the moment. We're just 1 minute to go.
And we spoke to Ross Balfour at the end of last week's 3 races at Watkins Glen, and he was pretty happy there, and he'll be very happy with that time at the moment. No one else able to get inside the 142s.
Well, the separation of times, the spread is absolutely huge, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry, it's tiny is what I meant. Sorry.
But you've been sarcastic.
No, my body clock's all over the place. So I have woken up just about an hour ago. So that's probably why brain and mouth aren't connecting particularly well. Jack Cedric goes up in 2nd place with 143.111. But if we ignore Balfour, Adam, from 2nd place Cedric to Palmer in 19th, it's just 0.4 of a second.
Exceptionally close, and a track like this, that's probably worth its weight in gold, really. Here's George Simmons, who's going to be starting in 5th place if things stay the way as they are, as the checker flag now starts to flutter, and you can see the lap times are continuing to come in. Just looking at those sector times at the bottom of your screen, there's a handful of greens, a handful of yellows as well. Green means it's a personal best. If you see any purples, it means it's a session best. And here is George Simmons towing round his Apex stablemate, albeit them driving for different teams in STK Gaming and Apex Racing Team, for Davidovich, but it looks like he's just bumped off.
So Simmons with a wheel on the grass there, and that's ruined his lap. Davidovich had slowed down, I think, anyway. You've got one of the CQR cars going round. He's giving a nice tow to one of the Texans Fitstyle Motorsport cars as well. And there's Mark Woodhouse. Behind him is Cedric. Oh, now I don't know if Cedric, I don't think he would have intended that, but he makes a bit of a mistake. And Thompson is getting towed along very, very nicely indeed. Woodhouse is getting towed along by Michael Evdoka. They're going for the shortest route to the line, which is next to this pit wall. What can they do? Can any of them make an improvement? Thompson can't improve. McFarlane improves to 4th. Woodhouse doesn't improve, and yeah, well, so proving quite difficult out there, Adam. I wonder if the track temperature just getting a little hot for these tyres at the end of the session.
Yeah, that could quite possibly be the reason. Jason Cooper was one driver to improve quite late on.
Yeah.
The Automet car leaping up to 2nd at the close of the session. Here are the conditions then for you. Right on cue, 23 degrees ambient temperature, which probably isn't too bad. We're expecting something similar in the UK next week. But it's that track temperature there of 45 degrees. It is an intense sun that is beating down on this circuit. And yeah, after the first 20-minute race, when we get down to the final few laps, those tyres are going to be starting to sizzle just a little bit.
Yeah, and of course the Brazilian tarmac as well. Hi, Paul Smith. It's probably got something to do with that as well. But terrific stuff from Balfour again, showing that he's just got this innate ability, and he comes back into the series and just seems to always be at the front. Cooper, I mean, if you'd have told me at the start of the season, I think that Jason Cooper would be, on the front row on legitimate pace in the race in the Showdown, I'll be honest with you, with all respect to him, I probably wouldn't have believed you massively. But he has been fantastic this season, and I think he's definitely a challenger for this title in this Showdown. And I do think when we come as well to the next season, he's going to be right up there again, isn't he?
I certainly think so, yeah. And one thing he wants to make sure of is that he gets through this first race of the evening without too much drama. Here is the grid then. It is Ross Balfour on pole position, Jason Cooper 2nd. Then it's Jack Sedgwick in 3rd, Ross McFarlane 4th. Ash Sutton was up in 2nd at one point in the qualifying session, but he's down in 5th for this one. George Simmons alongside him on the 3rd row. Then it's Josh Thompson, Wojciech Swidericz, the reigning champion, in P8. This is where he usually starts to shine in the ARLTC. Michael Abdoka 9th, and Jake Blackwell, the Aussie, ever so consistent. He's usually in the top dozen, whatever racetrack we go to. Pete Newman and Adam Hadfield 11th and 12th. Newman, the highest AM driver in the field. Then it's Pete Howard, Dave Baker, Simon Field, and Jamie Rushworth, 13th, 14th, 15th, and 16th. Lee Berridge, Luke Cooper, Ben Palmer, and Ben Gregory complete the top 20. Palmer and Gregory making it a 10th row full of Bens. Mark Johnston and Mark Woodhouse in 21st to 22nd. It's 2x2 in the first name front. And then it's Craig Williams and Adam Hedgecott 23rd and 24th. Kevin Carlisle in P25, Jack Stiles alongside him. Then Matt Bunn, Scott Malcolm, Sean Garner and Rob Graham rounding out the top 30. John Roberts in 31st, and then all of the cars that didn't set times. These are set based on their I rating. So Tim Greven in 32nd, Kip Stevens, then it's Jose Malbran, the South American. We're on the right continent for that. Nathan Davis, Tyler Vickery, and starting at the back, it's going to be Scotty Angelos. Here come the lights.
Nicely timed. 5 lights. The lights are off and the race is on at Interlagos. It's definitely a good start by Balfour. Sedgwick surging through from the 2nd row. He's already ahead of Jason Cooper into 2nd place as they fight for position into turn 1, the Cenares. Are they going to get through it? Oh, there's a contact at the back. And there's a spinner. I think it might be Sean Gardner, but we're still away. Balfour still going. This is the site of an almighty one in 2015. Hopefully the drivers are much more well behaved here, and I think they've been watching that footage, Adam, as it looks like they're all they're all fairly disciplined coming through the first 2 or 3 corners. Oh, well, maybe not. I don't know.
Gregory and one of the Craig setup shop cars up there. In fact, it was a Craig setup shop car that was at the Senna S, along with Jack Stiles in a Texans Fitstar Motorsports car.
Williams, I think. Williams was the one in Curve de Sol. I don't know about the one. Oh, look how tightly packed it is into La Regina. Oh, very tightly packed, and this is the thing on the first lap. It's basically a street fight, isn't it? As bit off into the wall in a big way is Kevin Carlisle.
Oh, that's not what he wanted at all. The wheel goes rolling away from his Audi RS3. That was a big hit.
Yeah, he really speared off. I wonder if he got the quarter panel, because that could be. Well, we'll see the replay of that in a couple of minutes, I think. But Meanwhile, Ross Balfour leading the way, Sedgwick in second. He didn't get a great run out of Junshao though. And here comes Cooper. Cooper, well, he's trying to avenge losing that second place on the start. Sedgwick's a great starter. Cooper's thinking about a look, but doesn't have a go. The 2x2 a bit further back as well. And there's Adam Hedgecock, our very own. The boosted car alongside Craig Williams, and they're going to battle now. Side by side through turn 2, Adam, and well, Williams, he had the inside, and that's key in turn 2.
And there's not much room for manoeuvre around there, as opposed to what Interlagos is like in real life. If you do get forced out wide at the centre S on this version of the circuit, you haven't got much room between the track and the tyre barrier, as off goes Ross McFarlane, and he could get freight trained here by both George Simmons, there he goes, and potentially Josh Thompson.
Yeah, I think it was Simmons who just got the elbows out a little bit, maybe shoved McFarlane slightly wide. Thompson trying to go around the outside of McFarlane. It's a brave move. It's difficult work if one can get it, but can he? Look how late on the brakes Thompson is. It didn't help him there, he just doesn't have the grip in this early part of the race. But he does go past McFarlane. To be fair, that's probably what he intended. Sedgwick and Cooper going through the hairpin, very, very close. Look at that. Look at the battle at the front. I mean, it's all going off, isn't it? This top 6, top 7, pretty much glued together, as you can see on the screen now. Balfour, Sedgwick, Cooper, Sutton, Simmons, Thompson, and Ross McFarlane. So, well, Adam, if this is going to be how the showdown is going to shape up, I reckon we're in for a great time indeed. There's a couple of cars who got into a bit of difficulty in the middle of that, but I think they're okay.
Over the time line we go then, start lap 3. He's committed to the inside as Ross Balfour. Is Jack Sedgwick going to slingshot around the outside into the first corner? He's very late on the brakes, as you can see the Audi getting a bit out of shape there, but Ross Balfour holds his own through the first complex of corners. Fastest lap of the race for Sedgwick as well, and I think this pack style of racing is something we're going to see throughout the whole showdown. We start off here today in Interlagos, then we're at Suzuka next week, the East layout. We know how tight it is around there, Bathurst, and then end the season at Daytona. So,
well, Suzuka East was the site of one of the first meetings that we ever covered together. I think it was the second meeting, and had an epic battle between Wojciech Stevinovic and Ash Sutton, which went to the wire. And I wonder if we're going to get something similar there next week. It certainly could happen. You think the times, ladies and gentlemen, are close this week. I think when we go to Suzuka East next week, they're going to be sort of infinitesimal sort of gaps. They'll be tiny.
Gonna have to get the ruler out.
Yeah.
To measure them.
And there's not like when the ARLTCs were at Le Mans and you measure the gaps with a calendar. It's a bit different. There's and of course, good luck to everybody participating in the iRacing Le Mans 24 hours this weekend. Us 3 in the commentary box included, as Sutton dives up the inside into Zhao on Cooper. Cooper holds it round the outside, and he's going to get the slipstream from the front 2 at least temporarily, which might still keep him ahead of Sutton. But we know, Adam, how good Ash Sutton is on the brakes, and Simmons is wanting to get involved as well. Could it be 3 wide in turn 1? Who knows?
Let's wait and see. It's going to be 2x2. It's exactly the same for the lead. Josh Thompson potentially trying to get involved in on the act as well. If Cooper's going to try and go around the outside, he's in a late braking contest with Ash Sutton here. The next corner is a right-hander, but Sutton is going to get through, and Simmons is up the inside. There's contact.
Yeah, and very tight, and there's contact with Thompson as Thompson tries to go around the outside. They're 3 wide here.
4 wide.
This is like the Irvine Verstappen Brundle business in 1994 as Cooper and Thompson. Wheel arch is almost interlocking. Simmons on the inside. Simmons is trying to just send it and keep those positions, because he knows, as you said earlier on, Adam, if you lose 1 place here, you could lose 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I mean, it's going all the way back to Jamie Rushworth in 14th.
And the top 2 have said, or the top 3 I should say, have said, see you later guys, they're now 1.8 seconds up the road after all this.
Yeah, and put that into perspective as well. Sutton and Cooper were side by side in turn 1, so in just half a lap, 1.8 seconds has been gained by Ash Sutton.
Up the inside here goes the TechSense Fitstar Motorsports car, sliding its way into Pico to Pato. Goes
Simmons is round again, and he's got hit from behind from Evdoka.
one of the CQR club cars has to take evasive action there. That was Jake Blackhall.
Oh, it's Blackhall and nearly hitting Svidovic. Going through Magulo. Wow, it's all action here. And every time there's a fight, another 5 cars from behind join the fray.
It seems to escalate, doesn't it, as the battles unfold? Everybody wants a piece of the action here as they fly past the start line.
Oh, well, sorry to interrupt. I noticed that Balfour and Sedgwick were side by side, but not any longer. Oh, Simmons again sideways into the wall this time. Small hit only, but he's had an awful lap, Josh Simmons, and it's just going from bad to worse for him.
Yeah, he has been everybody's personal punch bag, I think, in the opening 7 minutes of this one. Collided with Jason Cooper earlier, who I think Josh Thompson has just got by. Yep, in the background of the shot there, the Josh Thompson car up into 4th place.
Cooper down to 5th. Thompson representing Craig's setup shot. But yeah, Balfour, Sedgwick and Sutton, then this is going to be the battle for the win. You would think anyway. We're not going to rule the others out just yet, but I only really see Thompson getting back to this group, Adam, if these guys start battling, and the jury's out on that one at the moment.
Yeah, especially if they start fighting in corners which either precede long straights or come straight after long straights, because that's when they're going to start to lose the most time. Especially for this corner. So through John Cow we go, which is incredibly important in terms of getting the best possible exit, because you're onto one of the longest straights on the circuit. Problems with Michael Adoka, who's dropping down a timing order. Not too sure what's happened to him. To the Tech Sense Fitstar Motorsport guy, but he comes back in a minute. But yeah, they come over the line then as we approach the halfway mark of the race. Ross Balfour's been incredibly good at keeping the inside blocked, or is he? God, our cameraman was very brave there.
Oh dear. I hope he wore the brown pants on that one. It's, oh, he's still trying to retrieve that overlap, is Sedgwick, and Sutton's getting in on the act as well. Oh, if there's ever the epitome of 2 drivers who they'll see 0.8 car widths and try and go for it, it's these two, isn't it? And we'll see if see what transpires here as Sutton, Sedgwick, I think, got a wheel on the grass on the way into the Cedar de Lago. And that means that Sutton's right on him, but it's very hard to pass in this section of the track. Adam. Usually you can hold, if you put your car in the middle of the circuit, in the run-up to Ferradura, you've pretty much got everything covered.
And it also looks like that the outside line isn't really proven to be effective so far. That's why Jack Sedgwick was so desperate to get up the inside of Ross Balfour at the start of that lap, because we haven't seen too many overtakes where the outside line has worked here. Sutton up the inside.
Oh, you see, just sort of, I don't know if he missed a gear slightly, maybe just over-revved the engine slightly, but just didn't quite get the drive that he wanted out of Big Hooded Pato. But this is the long run up the hill. It's definitely an opportunity. Thompson's got it down from 2.8 seconds to 2.1 seconds. That group with Thompson, Cooper and McFarlane are definitely on their way towards the front. It's mental behind Wojciech Svidovic, by the way. Absolutely crazy. Because we'll see that in the background as there's Balfour just late enough on the brakes, Adam, so that he doesn't get challenged really into T1. But here's that's Jamie Rushworth trying to go through on Adam Hadfield.
Very close here in the fight for spot in the top 10. You could see on the timing screen.
Newman, isn't it? Sorry, it's Newman and it's Palmer, isn't it? Sorry, not Rushworth.
Hadfield and Rushworth were swapping places left, right and centre on that previous lap. You could see them, their names just swapping over on the timing screen on the left-hand side of your picture as we look here at Pete Newman, highest Pro-Am driver in the field, and then behind him there is the aforementioned Hadfield and the side-by-side Rushworth and Harrod.
Well, it really does illustrate what we were talking about in qualifying, of just 0.6 of a second separating the top 20 pretty much. And yeah, we knew it would be very close come the race. We're on board with Adam Hadfield. We're looking back at Jamie Rushworth. Pete Harrod trying to go round the outside. still, Hadfield maintains the place. Where's Pete Newman? Well, he's 8/10 ahead of us at the moment. So Hadfield, Adam, is certainly wanting to be looking forward rather than back in this situation, because the more he looks in his mirrors, the more... No, he's not a... The more he looks in his mirrors, the more he's going to sort of lose time to the little gaggle in front. Oh, here's the battle for the lead. It's raging again.
Over the line we go then. Watch out for Sutton. He's going to go up the inside. Balfour's been too busy looking at Sedgwick, has he? Sutton straight up the inside into the first corner.
Oh, that's a brilliant move. Double overtake from Sutton. And that is the quality of the man right there. We know that he's got the ability, but he shows it on more than one occasion. And 2 overtakes done. These 3 could be scrapping for the rest of the race, surely.
Ross Balfour's like, what have I done? I've gone from first down to third. It could be second. Up the inside he goes. That's one of the positions back as they all go very wide. In fact,
track limits advisory then, is it, boys?
Balfour clips the grass as well on his way back on. That means he's lost that second place again.
Yeah, so he tried to get it back. He got it back for all of... Oh! Balfour absolutely stuffed it up there. Stuffed it up the inside on Sedgwick. Oh, Sedgwick's coming back again. This is brilliant.
It's like Kubica versus Massa here at Fuji all those years ago.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, minus the rain and the continuous contact. What the key thing is here, though, and I don't stress this enough for Balfour and for Sedgwick, is they cannot afford to get into it too much and let Ash Sutton get away, because if he gets away, that's the end of it. Oh, there's a collision there. That's Baker and Savidovic, is it, that are off?
Well, not the best start
to already.
Yeah, not the best start to his showdown, is it? Here is a replay of what happened. Here it is. This is it. We're going into Pico de Pato. So there is Wojciech Savidovic. He's got Dave Baker just in front of him.
Oh, Baker's quite slow through the corner there for some reason. Savidovic, oh, he's going to get hit up the arse. Oh. So he stopped to try and avoid Baker. He didn't want to turn him round into a spin, and then he got hit. But it's one of those where, oh, not a great rejoin either. It's one of those where, Adam, I think the drivers behind, what can they really do? They were in their own battle.
Oh dear me! Look at the boot of Wojciech Savidovic as well. It's
no rear wing.
It's almost coming open as he comes across the line. As long as he finishes, though, he'll be in with a shout of the reverse grid for race 2.
It's bouncing around like some kind of lurid trophy at the back of the car. Oh, look at this! Hedgecock under pressure. It's Woodhouse on the inside. Luke Cooper was trying to go around the outside. Cooper didn't quite make it. There's all sorts going on in the background as well. We'll stick with this one momentarily. It's Hedgecock trying to defend hard from Woodhouse. Woodhouse on the outside. Look at this, he's persistent. Adam is trying to get this one done. Hedgecock was on the inside line, by far the shortest route, but kind of lost that momentum, didn't he? It allowed Woodhouse to just get alongside.
Into Vigo de Pato we go then. Is he going to continue with this path around the outside? It looks like it might just yield success for him here, and it...
well, take that.
He gives him a parting gift as he advances up into 14th place. I don't know if Hedgecock's going to be happy with that. Oh, no, it isn't.
Oh!
And
my.
He's through. I don't know if they teach him that in the Apex Racing Academy coaching sessions, but that's Hedgecock through into 14th.
You'd hope not. I'll have to get my notebook out and flick through that and find out. I think, well, retaliate, Ed.
Meanwhile, here is Ross McFarlane versus Jason Cooper.
Wow. This is tasty. Cooper, who started on the front row, his race has been a bit mediocre really by his standards, but he finds himself in a battle with Ross McFarlane now. Oh my word, this is close. They are pushing each other to the edge of commitment here. McFarlane trying to go all the way around the outside. It is possible in Interlagos, because the next corner is a right-hander, and that is key.
I think there's been a problem for Jack Sedgwick, because Josh Thompson is through into 3rd place. I did hear the sound of contact. I'm not sure whether Sedgwick may have had an incident or something.
Well, Oh, there's almost contact there between Cooper and... In fact, I think there was a bit of contact between Cooper and McFarlane.
Oh, and eventually
McFarlane
Ross
tries it.
McFarlane gets
Oh.
ahead. Yeah.
Just slides in front. I must admit, I did see Thompson, what I thought was Thompson's car, battling with someone else. And I didn't think anything of it because I thought Cedric was just a bit too far ahead. But here we go. And yeah, he got wide on the runoff area in this Interlagos. Thompson just drives all the way past him. Easy one. Oh, McFarlane.
It's not over yet, is it?
Oh!
I mean, it
Yeah.
might just be now as Cooper gets a little bit of the AstroTurf and a little bit of the grass and has to lose the place this time. So yeah, McFarlane 5th, and here comes the battle for the lead then, as we have just over 2 minutes to go around here.
Yeah, England versus Northern Ireland on this one. Balfour, you can see the car sliding underneath him as he tries to wring every millimetre out of that Audi RS3. He's got a great run though through turns 2 and 3. Oh, this could be a great opportunity for him going down the Retroposta.
Sutton immediately gets over to the inside line. It is a left-hander that's coming up. The outside line does work around this corner though, but I think Sutton should just be ahead enough, yes he is, so that he can turn and still with the corner.
I'm still waiting for someone to do Trulli and Suthill on this straight, and then turn up at the next race meeting with diagrams and everything.
I don't know if you're blind, but
to explain why they're wrong. And this is, well, we'll see. And look who's joining the party, Adam. It's only taken him a lap or so, but he's got his head down. Josh Thompson, and he's right on this. This is 3 of the best in the game, at the top of the game, and we should just sit back and enjoy it. I think, you know, we've got 2 laps to go, Adam, and this is going to be a grand slam finish, really.
Yeah, I think Thompson's going to have one shot at it, really. He's going to have to use this front straight to close right up, and then he's going to have 1 lap to try and get by, and hope these lot continue their squabble. I think whatever happened to Cedric, he's lost a whole lot of straight line speed because he's down to 6th place now with Cooper and with Cooper also getting by. But this is what we're focused on. It's a fight for the lead, and it's a fight for the first win of the Showdown. So points have never been more important here as Ross Balfour starts to line up Sutton for another attempt.
If we had a white flag in road racing, it would be vigorously hammered down by the iRacing flagman at this point. This is the final lap, everybody. Sutton on the inside, Balfour on the outside. Balfour's trying it. And like I say, you've got to get up pretty early in the morning to outbrake Ash Sutton, but he is alongside still, Adam, in turn 2.
Oh, through Curve of the Soul, this is music to Thompson's ears. He's just going to close this gap up straight away. Here he comes. He might even try and go for the lead.
Is he going to go for the double overtake as well? Then we've seen it happen once already. Sutton defends the outside, the inside, sorry. He comes back to the middle, boxes Thompson off, but Balfour steams around the outside. Oh, has he gone too far? Well, that's going to... Oh, bang!
Well, they somehow survived that. Balfour's now going to have the inside line for the Ferradura.
Well, that was almost the Trulli and Suthill business, wasn't it? That we were talking about. Oh, contact! Balfour sideways. Can he get it stopped for the corner? He can! Oh, he's going to still be in the lead on him. It's extraordinary from Balfour.
Thompson's just like, I'm staying out of this, boys. I'm going to try and overtake the both of you here into Pico de Pato. He's going for the mother of all cutbacks. Is Sutton going to go for a move up the inside here? No, he isn't. He might be favouring the photo finish. He's going to have to get a mighty run through Juncal, though.
What a battle this is. This is up there with one of the greatest races I think we've had in the ARLTC. And Ross Balfour now with a half-second lead coming into the final corner. Could it be enough for him? Is it enough for him to stay ahead of Sutton, to stave off the challenge? Thompson's going to get a big run. I don't think he's got 7/10s in him though. Ross Balfour driving to the line, the privateer from Northern Ireland. What can he do? He's going to go to the inside and he's going to take the win, Adam. This is brilliant from Ross Balfour. He takes it here at Interlagos. Sutton in second, Thompson in third.
Oh, what a finish that was between 3 of the best in the series. Here comes Adam Hadfield over the line. He's going to just beat Sir Craig Williams to the line in a dead heat, along with George Simmons as well, as the handbrakes well and truly get used after the flag. George Simmons going off like Mario Andretti did. No, not Mario Andretti. Michael Andretti did in 1993. Here's Scott Malcolm, another new member of the Apex Racing Academy. He's potentially out of fuel. I'm not sure. I know he's Is he allowing Davies through? I'm not sure as it's across the line.
Well, just so that everybody knows as well, the Apex Racing Academy has relaunched, and you know, you can go there and see what we offer. ApexRacingAC.com. You can go to that one and you can sign up today if you like what you see here, and if you want some help in any of the cars we've got I think it's over 20 cars covered. So yeah, please go and check that one out. But for now, here on the RAC Esports Network, Adam, we've seen that's an all-time classic. That I think that was a great race. Fantastic.
Yeah, we'll be talking about that one for a while. Yeah, Ross Balfour looked like he'd lost the lead at one point when he got done by a brilliant move up the inside by Sutton at the midway point of the race, and then there were numerous times on that final lap where we thought he'd lost it. He was off at Interlagos, rejoined, and somehow managed to stay ahead of Sutton. Then he got hit by the CQR Pure Sims car, and then he managed to somehow stay alongside going into the Lamborghini in the middle of the circuit. So a brilliant drive from him. And now we've got to turn our attention to the reverse grid. We'll do it this first before we bring you the comprehensive finishing order from this first race of the day. And it means that we've got to bring in for the first time tonight Sam Kumo, who's going to get the Wheel of Fortune up and tell us who's going to be on the front row for race 2.
Yeah, thanks Adam. And let's go first the reverse grid wheel of the Showdown. And it is spinning, and we get a good one. It is full -1.
Oh, -1. So that would be Jose Malbrin on the pole for race 2. The Argentinian is going to be at the front with Wojciech Savidovic alongside him on the front row. Then it's Jamie Rushworth in third, Lee Berridge fourth, Scott Malcolm in fifth. So that's how they're going to be lining up for the second race of the day. As Josh Thompson on the iRacing chat marvels about what we saw in that first race as the results are up on the screen.
Well, we haven't seen Jose Malbrin for I think several months in the championship. He was here at the beginning of this season or the beginning of last season, but he's going to have a pole position to deal with, and that's always going to be a bit of fun, maybe quite interesting for him. Ross Balfour takes the win then by just the 0.3 of a second over Ash Sutton. Josh Thompson in third, Ross McFarlane in fourth ahead of Jason Cooper in the top 5. Jay Blackhall and Jack Sedgwick then 6th and 7th. Pete Newman in 8th, the highest of the AM drivers. Ben Palmer in 9th, Adam Hadfield 10th, Craig Williams in 11th, and George Simmons in 12th. Simmons did quite well in the end, I think, to finish there. Field in 13th, ahead of Hedgecock, and then Baker in 15th, Woodhouse in 22nd, Kip Stevens in 23rd, Pete Harrod down in 24th, John Roberts 25th, Nathan Davies 26th, and then Scott Malcolm in 27th, Lee Berridge 28th, and then 29th position was Jamie Rushworth ahead of Wojciech Savidovic, then Jose Malbrin as we mentioned. Ben Gregory missed out on the reverse grid, unfortunately for him, in 32nd, so that's where he'll be starting. And then Michael Evdoka, Tim Greven out, Kevin Carlisle, Jack Stiles, and Scotty Angelo didn't get very far. I think it must have been Greven then, Adam, who ended up in trouble in turn 1.
Yeah, not the best of starts to the evening for Greven, for Carlisle, or for Jack Stiles there at the back. And unfortunately for them, it's not going to get much better because they'll be starting at the rear of the grid for race 2, which will be coming up soon here on the iRacing Esports Network. Don't go anywhere. We've just witnessed one of the classics of this championship, and we've still got 2 races to go with a reverse grid. So plenty more to come from here at Interlagos in the ARLTC Championship.
back to Interlagos and the ARLTC Showdown, round 1 of the Showdown, second race of the day here in Brazil. And well, Adam, we're here, and that first race was such a classic, and race 2 with the reverse grid, you know, we know that thrills and spills can take place, and they most certainly are on the menu, aren't they?
Definitely. Let's just hope that we can keep it to the same standard as what we saw in race 1, and hopefully it won't end in tears, potentially. But we're going to have to wait and see, because we have got a full -1 reverse grid, which means we've got Jose Malbrin starting on the pole, and alongside him the reigning champion Wojciech Savidovic. So this is going to be a pretty interesting second race, as here is some of the grid. Rushworth 3rd, Berridge 4th, Malcolm, Davis, Roberts, Harrod, Stevens and Tyler Vickery completing the top 10. I think we got to speak to him last time out at the Watkins Glen as well, to Tyler. Top dozen completed by Rob Graham and Sean Gardner. And then Mark Johnston, Matt Bunn, Cooper, Woodhouse, Baker, Hedgecock, Field and Simmons completing the top 20. And of course our winners from race, our podium position drivers, I should say, from race 1, Thompson, Sutton and Balfour, 29th, 30th and 31st. So a lot of overtaking to do.
Yeah, and well, overtaking definitely possible here. If you get stuck in the pack, it can be quite tricky. We'll see the rest of the field sort of cycling through on the screen. 35 cars, or 36 cars look like they might be starting this one, but it's Jose Malbrin then, who is on pole position, and let's see what he can do. Can he outdrag Wojciech Savidovic? It's going to be a tall order, but let's see. Lights are off, race is on. It's a good start by Malbrin. He's going to maintain the lead into turn 1. Maintains it by quite a way, actually. He can just take his normal line, which is ideal on the first lap. Wojciech Savidovic slots into second place. There's already a crash at the back, and I'm not quite sure who that was. It might even been Jack Styles possibly off. And here we go anyway. Malbrin down the back straight in the Retro Poster. Savidovic has got a good run, Adam, and he looks like he's going to come through and take the lead.
Is Jamie Rushworth going to follow him through, though? Up the inside goes the reigning champion, and he does take the lead. Malbrin gets forced out wide. They both go off, and Jamie Rushworth might be able to capitalise. I think he will.
Oh, Rushworth into the lead then. Terrific stuff by the veteran. And talking veteran experience, not really veteran in old. He won't thank me for that, I'm sure. As Lee Berridge goes into 3rd place. He's trying to get through. Oh, the boosted driver goes very deep into the hairpin, and he manages to keep it. There's all sorts of squabbling going on in the middle of the field, going around these tight switchbacks, and into Pico de Pato. There's Malbrin gets 3rd place back from Lee Berridge.
Yeah,
Davies,
I don't know what...
Nathan Davies, look.
Yeah, the Welshman trying to go around the outside here. He's a long way from home as he tries to get past Lee Berridge, who tried to go for a move up the inside, it looked like. That just wasn't going to happen, and he had to allow Malbrin back through. The cars that were off at the centre rest, by the way, it was Tyler Vickery, who we saw when we were running through the grid starting inside the top 10, and Rob Graham as well. They got stuck together at the centre rest. In
fairness to Davies, Wales is closer to Brazil than England is, but, well, some of it is. And Malbrin's car, I like the look of that. Nice looking car. But he won't like the look of Lee Berridge going through into 3rd place, that's for sure. And Malcolm and Harrod getting quite close personal in the first corner. And we've got Savidovic versus Rushworth. I think Ash Sutton is off. Ash Sutton, I think he was off, and he's dropping down. He's losing out to Evdoka, he's losing out to Styles. And many more as well, Adam, at this point.
A lot of lap light flashing going on. Oh, it's very close there into the Interlagos. You can see Josh Thompson's in there, Ross Balfour as well, the race 1 winner. And I think Rushworth and Savidovic too are all going at it. But there's Craig Williams in the Craig setup shop car, Jack Sedgwick in the foreground of the shop too. So some big names here, and they're all outside the top 20. They're trying to break through this huge gaggle of cars and try and get in there.
I think Williams' tactic might be to give the car in front a seizure, to be fair. He's flashing the lights that much. We'll see what happens if he can get through that group. Just flashing them away, it'd be so distracting to me. Oh, and well, Rushworth just didn't get the drive there, did he? And Patrick Svinovic is through.
Yeah, they've been side by side for the whole lap, and it was just on the exit, Pico de Passo. Volusia was able to get the drive on the outside, and Jamie wasn't, and through goes the Apex Racing team car into the lead at the end of the second lap. Can Rushworth get him back, though, with the slipstream here?
Well, he's going to attempt it, that's for sure. 0.3 of a second is the gap. And I wonder if... Look at this, he's very close. Just, yeah, inches away from the back of Svinovic, but Rushworth maintains the gap. Yes, these cars look similar from a distance. They're not teammates, we can show you. Davies is round. Oh no, that's a bad rejoin. Oh, bad rejoin, and that's Hedgecock out, I think, probably. There's a Team Mad car, I think, that hit him as well. Yeah, it's Woodhouse, I think, with no
lot of
rear
damage.
wing. Yeah, major damage. I'm sure he's going to make it back to the... Well, he might make it back to the pits, but probably not much further. Davies just misjudging the rejoin completely.
Problems
Probably
for...
needed to just hold the brakes and stay put. There's Ross Balfour, race 1 winner. Adam, and he's going round the outside of the stricken Rob Graham, it looks like. Oh, it's Adam Hadfield, sorry.
And I think Rushworth was back in the lead briefly. Oh, he is back in the lead. So it's roles reversed from this time a lap ago. So the CQR Pure Sims car, well, he was in the lead briefly as Wojciech Savinovic does go back up the inside into Pico de Passo. This is really encouraging for Lee Berridge because he's just ever so slowly closing up to the back of them now that this is all taking place.
Yeah, he's just driven right up to them as Berridge, hasn't he? And maintaining an offensive. Svinovic leads by half a second, but again, it's going to be difficult to maintain that gap. Pete Harrington, 4th place, 2.5 seconds behind. He's got his hands full with Luke Cooper, Johnston, Malcolm, Baker, Roberts, Simmons. They're all in there. See that pack just coming past the front of our shot, but Svinovic still leads. And this is a battle of 2 drivers, Adam, who were there 6 years ago when we started covering the series. Both won titles, both won many races, and well, looks like it could be between them and Lee Berridge, as Jose Malbran might be in trouble, and I think Malbran is in trouble.
Here's a replay then to see what happened to Jose Malbran. This is going into the Senna S.
Was in 11th place.
Oh.
Oh,
sure,
he's just stopped, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's pulled it off. I wonder if he's just got a... I wonder if he had a problem, maybe some damage, and maybe he just couldn't... Oh, that's brave from Scott Malcolm to drive right in front of Cooper like that. Oh, Cooper hits him. And then Simmons hits Cooper. I think Johnston hits Simmons. It's all kicking off here in the middle of that.
Pico de Passo, and now he's getting pretty much pushed around the corner is Mark Johnston by number 4, so that must be Pete Harrod, yeah, in the yellow car.
Yeah, and the driver of John Roberts is just in front of them. I'm sorry, I can't keep it up anymore. Driver of is ridiculous. I can't keep it up. Nobody's controlling John Roberts. We're all right. Simmons and Cooper then, 6th and 7th.
You can always hear them going over the rumble strips there through the penultimate corner as they go down the front straight. Over long we go, and it's the battle of the slightly damaged cars as Luke Cooper gets passed by George Simmons up the inside into the Senna S. Oh, where's he gone? There he is.
Simmons disappears. I mean, that's among the more unorthodox tactics that we've seen out on the track today. We've seen flashing lights trying to impair the driver in front, and now we've got Simmons trying to use invisibility to do it. It's up the inside though of Malcolm. Malcolm should hold on to 6th as he is on the inside for Ferradura, but what can sometimes happen is you can get boxed in here, especially if Simmons decides he wants to take the tighter line in, which he does, and that does just that, Adam, and allows Cooper to get the momentum, but it's not over yet. John Roberts hits Malcolm. Oh, and Johnston hits Roberts. And, well, Johnston not shy of a bit of argy-bargy.
Yeah, Harris using Johnston as the battering ram. It looks like it's at the inside.
Human shield. Oh, contacts Roberts. That's getting his own back. And Johnston is, well, it's actually Harrod that's stricken on the outside, on the inside of Magulo. I'm not quite sure why Harrod got the worst of it.
Yeah, he's on the outside of it all, wasn't it, when Johnston got clattered into, and yeah, he had to bounce across the grass and get back out onto the track. He's now down in 17th place after all that. As here come the race one crew.
Gallery, isn't it?
It's the top three. It's some of the top three from race one. It's Josh Thompson, the runner-up, Jack Sedgwick, and Ash Sutton, who was.
Oh, Sean Gardner's going for it all, I think.
Oh,
no! Oh, there goes Jack Sedgwick, facing the wrong way, in front of the camera.
Tipped into a spin.
Gardner put it all on red, and it came up black, and lost all his money on that one. Hey, fair play to him. He was going for the lot, wasn't he? All the marbles, and yeah, rather lost his marbles on that one.
Racing roulette. God's not looking down on him there.
Yeah,
here it comes.
No hint of Russians in sight. Oh, there's oh no, this is going to be bad. Oh, that's a big one for Williams.
Into the side of Kip Stevens.
It's Kip Stevens, yeah, the veteran, the two-time champion. Either got it wrong or was assisted. But yeah, that's Craig Williams. Copped a an absolute big hit there.
Here is Michael Avdoka, who was at the back at the end of race one, has gained 13 places to get into the top 20 here. He's got Kevin Carlisle, who was also off in race one, just in front of him with the pink mirrors.
It'll just be Avdoka's luck if the reverse grid's 19 at this point, won't it? Because that's usually what happens to him. He'll tend to get the best of luck in things like this. Just a bit of an update of the front as well while we look at this scrap in the midfield. Svidovic leads by 0.3 of a second. Rushworth is second, and then Lee Berridge is 1 second off the lead in third. And this is the battle between Matt Bunn, Balfour, and John Roberts. And that's Bunn all the way around the outside of them in centre S.
Ross Balfour's hoping he can try and follow him through here. John Roberts is good when it comes to defending a position, and he's going to cover the inside line here, but I think Blackhall is going to push Ross Balfour ahead potentially here down the Retro Aposta.
Looks like Roberts is struggling with straight line speed. I don't know if that is true, but... Oh, contact. And Roberts is struggling to keep out of the way of other vehicles, I think, in this one. Yeah, it's not going great guns for him. Let's be honest. This is now Kevin Carlisle, and wide is Matt Bunn in Ferradura. So yeah, Bunn. I don't know if he's struggling under braking or something, but it looks like his car's handling a bit weirdly out there.
Yeah, I wonder if a few battle scars are just starting to show in these cars that have had to fight their way up from lower down on the grid. Ross Balfour may not have gained any places, but he's been in that part of the field where everybody's coming or going.
I think Rob Graham's crashed. So we're looking at Carlisle and Roberts once again. And what can Kevin Carlisle do? He gets the exit, and this is what's happened to Rob Graham. It's with Gregory.
Oh, Sedgwick.
Oh, Sedgwick. Dear me.
Insult to injury, that.
Well, I must admit, I didn't notice that Sedgwick just passed Rob Graham. I didn't think it was quite in that odd fashion. Look at Mark Johnston's car. There's hardly anything left of it at this point.
Good thing he gets a new one for the third race.
It's resembling more the small Audi RS3. It's been crushed in so badly at the back.
It's been TT'd. I don't know.
Yeah, that's it. Well, he's about to be Ross Balfour because
yeah.
This is Northern Ireland versus Northern Ireland.
Oh,
we know he's got the Irish flag. Mark Johnston, but I'm sure it's the Northern Irish flag on the front of his car. I could be completely wrong there, Adam, because I do have the eyesight of a bat that's been stabbed with a fork. But yeah.
That is a Northern Irish flag, I'm pretty sure. On Mark Johnston's car, I should say.
But it's got the Irish flag on our timing tower, which obviously, again, we're not going to get into that because that's potentially problematic. But that's just explaining for the viewers at home, at least.
Oh, what was sideways is Ross Belfort.
Not that we're above any controversy here on the channel, by the way.
One guy that we know that does love his Audis is Alex Simpson. He'd be able to tell us all the various different models as here comes.
He's got one of these, hasn't he?
Have we been in
the same?
Is it the estate?
Maybe.
Do they do an estate? I don't know. That's
the small one. He might have the small one, I think. Here's Craig Williams then. He's still flashing the lights. I wonder if his light button is stuck.
They were flashing before the lights went out.
Yeah, at this point, that's the only explanation, is that it's either jammed or like the dog sat on it or something and it won't move. Oh, this is close. That's for the lead. Rushworth and Svidovic just having a nibble at each other, but well, Rushworth still on the inside into Ferradura.
This is good for the former champion up against the reigning champion. Rushworth hasn't won a title since 2014. He'd like to get another one here as he goes up the inside into Larangina. Wojciech comes back at him.
From a distance, Adam, you'd be hard pressed to tell these cars apart, actually, but we promise you they are different teams, as we said earlier on.
It's the perfect. Yeah, I'm going on the red mirrors of Wojciech and the purple mirrors of Rushworth.
Yeah, that's it. That's one thing in the series. One thing that we love about iRacing is, obviously, for those who are new to the series or haven't really seen much of iRacing before, well, first of all, welcome. It's good for you to be with us, but second of all, you can paint the cars however you like, and a lot of the distinguishing features on for a lot of the drivers are different coloured mirrors. And I must admit though, Adam, I much prefer a team to have to run the same livery with different sort of indicating features than all running different ones. If they all run different ones, for some reason it really just confuses me.
See the news about NASCAR, I think, in moving the driver numbers.
Where are they going to move them to?
A bit further back on the car.
Doesn't make any sense, really, but there you go. Wonder why that is. Is that something that gets sponsors in, is it?
Yeah, more sponsorship, I believe.
Wow. I've always thought it's pretty iconic the way NASCAR does its sponsorship. As this is Thompson, and he's got a damaged car. He's trying to take on Scott Malcolm into this Interlagos, and he does. And also coming through is Sutton. So Sutton and Thompson resuming their battle from the first race while charging through the field, and they've both gained 23 spots, which is very, very impressive indeed. No, I think there's always something great and simple about a giant number on the side of a NASCAR. If you ask me, I think F1 should try and adopt something like that with bigger numbers. But I don't know. Don't know what the right answer is there.
3 minutes.
I mean, we've seen it. Sorry.
No, finish your point.
I was going to say, we've seen it in the past, haven't we, in testing, that people have run like big numbers on the cars, and there's a lot of concept liveries going around. But yeah, I don't know. I think anything that makes things a bit more distinguishable is great for me.
Just under, exactly 2.5 minutes to go here as Pete Newman shapes up Luke Cooper in a fight for third in the Pro-Am category. And it looks like he's going to do it as the CQR Sim Sports car. Yeah, through we go. So too does go Ross McFarlane. In fact, he wants Pete Newman's spot as well. He has a look at the inside into the centre S, but finds that the CQR Sim Sports car is going to be a tough adversary to get by here.
He was good on the brakes there, wasn't he, McFarlane? Really nicely controlled as well. Svidovic and Rushworth, by the way, still 3/10 apart. We've just got 2 laps to go for them, so We're going to see the conclusion of that one very, very shortly as we look at McFarlane. And tell you what, another story that's developing. There might not be anything in it really, Adam, but Baker's only 7 tenths behind Berridge, so I do wonder if Dave Baker might be able to get on the action at the front, maybe get himself a little bit of the bubbly.
Well, it is on offer. Not in terms of reduced price, it is on offer in terms of it is available to him. There's, in fact, when Sam put up the gap graphic on the timer screen, it was just 1.6 seconds covering the top 4. So it could all concertina up in the final lap, which we're about to start now.
Yeah.
No, if anything, the podium gets harder to get as the race goes on, rather than cheaper as it goes along.
Well, indeed, and Berridge has held on to it for quite some time. I'm impressed with the pace that he's shown in this one, that's for sure. But is his bubbly going to be in jeopardy from David Baker? And well, I'll tell you what, there aren't many drivers who I think you'd want sort of gaining on you less than Dave Baker, because I think it's just one of those, if you make one mistake, he's through. We've all raced against Dave. I think he's crashed into you a few times, Adam, but I think that would still count as racing, I think. But we'll blame it on him, at least for those ones. But oh, he's having a look late on the brakes. What can Jamie Rushworth do here, Adam? What's his play? Do we think a move into one of the hairpins, or side by side for third? It's tough to keep an eye on both at once, but oh, they're swapping places. Berridge and Baker. Berridge is still on the inside.
Is he clear? No, up the inside goes Dave Baker, but Berridge might just be able to use the run on the exit potentially. No, and Baker's through into third place.
He is for now anyway. Oh, Berridge is having a look up the inside again. If we have the, we're fairly close to having the Hamilton-Albon crash there, but here we go then, final corner for Wojciech Swinovich. Can Jamie Rushworth get this run up the hill?
Runs a little bit wide. I wonder if he tried to make a little move into the junk out. It is very close. It's closer than what it was in the first race, but is Rushworth going to have enough of a toe to get alongside and crucially past before we get to check?
Oh, it's coming down. It's coming down, but I don't think it's going to be enough for him this time. He's got it down to 1/10 of a second, but it's not going to be enough. Wojciech Swinovich wins at Interlagos. Very close for third, actually, in the end. Berridge 2/10 behind Baker. He's going to be gutted with that, I think, missing out on the podium. Great result for Baker. And this nonsense is Gardner, Roberts and Gregory. Now, Gregory's crabbing. Gardner must have damage from the first lap. Roberts has got damage from other things. Who's going to take it? I don't know. It's going to be very close. It's going to be Sean Gardner, in fact, who gets there and gets 21st place. Oh, and I don't know if there's a problem there on the last lap for Pete Harrod, possibly, was there? I think there was, because Tyler Lugo Victory's got past Cooper and F. Ducker.
Yeah, not sure what befell Harrod there. Last time we saw his car was already pretty heavily damaged after the contact with Nathan Davies earlier.
Oh, yeah.
And that we are just waiting for one more car to cross the line. I think it is...
So Craig Williams did well to finish 17th after he absolutely walloped the stationary car of Davies early on.
Had to take a hammer to the light switch though between races 2 and 3.
Yeah,
the car won't start up otherwise.
Sadly, you can't blame the flashing lights on the crash. As you said, they were flashing away on the grid. So whether he's doing a troll job or whether he's just simply broken the button, I don't know. But we'll have to see. Reverse grid wheel is going to come up very, very soon. I think everybody has crossed the line indeed. So we'll go over to Sam, who's going to give us the pole position number for race number 3.
Yeah, wheel is ready to go, and let's just spin it. Okay, that was a bit loud, but at least it's spinning.
That's good.
And it is 25.
It is Tyler Vickery, isn't he? He's back at the front again, like he was at the Glen. It's Tim Greven alongside him, so
He's on at the front of the Glen as well.
Potentially, yeah. Gregory third, Roberts fourth, Gardner in fifth. With Jack Sedgwick in sixth. So this could be pretty interesting. Those 3 cars that came across the line, pretty much together, going to be at the front as well for the final race.
All right, well, we're going to see that happen at the other side of the break. But in the meantime, here are the results of race 2. Wojciech Svidovic with the win, just by just over a tenth of a second from Jamie Rushworth. Dave Baker in third, snatching that away from Lee Berridge, but Berridge does win the AM category. George Simmons in fifth, Ash Sutton sixth, and then Josh Thompson seventh, Pete Newman eighth, Ross McFarlane in ninth, and Scott Malcolm in the top 10. Good job from him. Luke Cooper in 11th, Ben Palmer 12th, Ross Balfour 13th, and then Jake Blackhall in 14th. Matt Bunn in 15th place, ahead of Kevin Carlisle. Then Craig Williams in 17th, Mark Johnson 18th. Somehow making it to the end of that one, Johnston. Styles in 19th, there was Sedgwick, and then we saw Sedgwick around at the first corner and then hit later on. Gardner in 21st, and then Roberts 22nd, Gregory 23rd, Greven in 24th, and then Lugo Vickery in 25th. Cooper in 26th. He won't be getting the reverse grid, unfortunately for him. For Jason Cooper, he would have been on pole twice tonight. Michael Evdocker, well, not on pole, but on the front row at least twice. Michael Evdocker in 27th, Pete Harrod 28th, then it's Simon Field, Adam Hedgecock, Kip Stevens. Adam Hadfield is the last point scorer in 32nd. And then the drivers who didn't make it to the end, Rob Graham, we saw what happened to him, Mark Woodhouse, Jose Malbran, and Nathan Davies, Adam. So not many retirements, which is good. On to race 3 and the second reverse grid of the day, and definitely some combustible elements there, I think.
Yeah, I wonder if a few drivers' patience is starting to wear thin, potentially, when we get to this one. We saw quite a lot of damaged cars at the end then. What we found in this Audi is that the straight line speed does tend to be affected in these cars if you do start to pick up a bit of damage. We knew all about that when we were doing the 24 hours at the Nürburgring a couple of weeks ago, and I'm sure many more drivers in race 3 will be feeling that. So yeah, it's time for our final break of the evening, but when we return, we'll be on the grid and getting set for the third race of the Showdown here in the ARLTC Championship from sunny Interlagos.
Welcome back to the iRacing Esports Network and the ARLTCR. Adam said when he left you for race 2, sunny Interlagos. Well, all that's gone to pot, hasn't it? Because the cloud cover has come over. Adam, the sky just looks like it's full of cotton wool now. So what's that going to mean for the drivers? It's going to mean, I imagine, quicker lap times.
Cold tyres as well at the beginning for this one. It'll take a bit longer than usual to get them up to temperature. Funnily enough, the ambient temperature stayed the same, 29 degrees Celsius. Not too short on the track temperature. I think it might be exactly the same. So it has cooled down a little bit.
I mean, if there's one thing that's worse than, like, 29 degrees hot and sticky, it's 29 degrees under a cloudy sky when it's humid and it's nasty weather. And I can't imagine that if this was a real race, that the drivers would have too much pleasure from probably being in over 40-degree conditions in the cockpit.
Definitely not. Well, curse of the commentators definitely did strike, and it even applies to the weather as we get down to the no. Tyler Vickery starts on the pole. Then it's Tim Greven alongside him on the front row. Then it's Ben Gregory and Roberts on row 2. Sean Gardner in 5th, and then Jack Sedgwick in 6th. And the top 10 rounded out by Jack Stiles, Mark Johnston, Craig Williams, and Kevin Carlisle. So we've got Americans bookending the top 10. Then it's Matt Bunn, Jake Blackhall in 12th. Then Ross Balfour, Ben Palmer, Luke Cooper, Scott Malcolm, Ross McFarlane, Pete Newman. And then the top 20 completed by Josh Thompson and Ash Sutton. Those two gained 23 places in race 2. If they want to get to the front here, they're only going to have to gain 19 each. So watch out for them. Potentially Wojciech Savidovic starting in 25th place as well, so he's got some work on his hands too. And starting at the back for this one's going to be Nathan Davis. Here come the lights.
Here we go then. Vickery, Greven, Gregory. Let's see what's going to happen here. Race is on for round 3. Pretty good start by Tyler. He's struggled with the starts recently, but gets away well here. See Jack Sedgwick making a big move on the inside. He's trying to get past John Roberts. Can't quite do it this time, but might make it work. Oh, CQR car into the wall. Jake Blackhall. Looks like he's out of the race already. I think Scott Malcolm is involved in something as well. He's stationary. Oh, big damage. Big damage. So great start by Vickery though, Adam. He's really, that's probably the best start I've seen him do in a while.
Yeah, definitely. Managed to get it off the line this time. Ben Gregory made
lead. Sorry, Adam, something's happened.
There he is. And it is going to be Gregory. Is he going to sweep round the outside? He's going to try, but Tyler Vickery's back up the inside. Please don't get together, guys. You've had such a good qualifying. You don't want to throw that away straight away.
Not in front of the whole field, anyway.
Here comes Sedgwick up the inside of Greven.
Vickery round the outside of Gregory. Oh yeah, Jack Sedgwick's on the prowl. It's never a good sign for his competitors. McFarlane making places, as is Palmer. Great start from the American though. Williams hasn't fixed his lines. He shouldn't be banned from the championship.
He's going to be able to see where he's going. Never intermittently anyway. Here comes Ben Gregory on the run to the line, and who's going to lead the first lap here? It could get 3 wide. Are we going to go 3 wide? He thinks about going 3 wide.
It wouldn't have worked well in a night race for him, would it? No. But here we go anyway.
He'd have a strobe light, wouldn't he? Yeah, here comes Sedgwick.
Sedgwick and Gregory then going into battle in turn 1. Gregory carries a lot of apex speed. Can he get the exit that he desires to try and force the issue with Sedgwick? Tim Greven around looking for the outside. He might go to the inside for Interlagos. John Roberts is out in no man's land as he's sort of alongside Kevin Carlisle. Greven's having a look. Greven's going for it. Oh, he's out of control. He loses it. And then I think he taps Gregory, and Gregory has to bail out. But again, aggressive driving by Greven. Takes no prisoners out there. Carlisle ahead of Vickery, so P4 for Kev. Simmons dropping down. What's happened to the SDK gaming car? Who knows? There he is. He's just lost by a lot of places.
He's just been passed by Thompson's had a fantastic so he's already gained 5 places. Biggest mover in the field is Ross McFarlane, who's just a bit in front. He's gained 7 places. As Ross Balfour looks like he may have been hit, and there's problems for car 56. That's Sean Gardner.
Yeah. Gardner, and already damage on the back of I think it was Mark Johnson's car, was it? Just damage on the back of, damage on the front of Balfour. So I wonder if those two have got together.
Up the hill they go then, and it's side by side between Ross McFarlane and Ross Balfour. It's the battle of the Rosses, and it's going to be McFarlane that's going to emerge ahead. I think he's already gained 7 spots, and I think he wants to keep it that way. Yes, he does. I think Balfour might be struggling in a straight line just a little bit with that damage.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me at all. It's the front of the car. It's going to be the most aero-sensitive part. Oh.
Bun. Well, he gets up the inside, but I think he could be under pressure now because Thompson's just going to fill the void straight away, and he might even get past Balfour here, Thompson.
Balfour kind of bobbled his way along the curb in turn 3, and I wonder if that's going to cause a bit of an issue. Yeah, he's got any straight line spin. I think Thompson's just driven all the way around the outside, late on the brakes as well, and now, contact between Simmons and Bunn. Oh, Bunn's into the wall, that's a hard crash.
Big one. And that is the end of the day for Dave Baker. Or potentially, he's got a lot of damage as wheels bouncing on the track. Baker's missing one. Oh, more contact.
Oh, it's still going off, and that's Berridge
Simmons.
And Field.
There's an ultimate on the inside.
Woodhouse as well for Team Mad. Palmer for CQR.
Well, here
That
it is.
is a huge one.
It carried on after we left it, didn't it?
Well, Bunn gets spat into the tyre wall there. That's the angle that he doesn't want. Oh, more cars involved on the outside as well. Another CQR car, pure sim car. Sorry, sim sport car involved. I think Newman.
And I think what happened
carries on, doesn't it? Look at that. Davies off.
I think what happened there was Simmons' car looked like it broke, and
Can we see it again?
And the whole field arrived to see the slow George Simmons car, and then all hell broke loose after that.
Yeah, I want to see that again, because I'll be honest, there were so many things going on that I couldn't see them all.
Yeah, if we stay with Simmons here, I think Simmons' car looks like it breaks after this contact, and then the whole field arrives and has nowhere to go.
Front right's broken.
And then here comes everybody else. Help!
At full chat, and Savinovic gets Savinovic tries to thread the needle and it doesn't work. I think he survives, and he actually doesn't hit anything, which is unbelievable, really. That's when you know you won 6 titles, when you get looked like that. Davies ended up off. All sorts of things going on. This is the Craig setup shop battle now, and Williams is up into 2nd place, ahead of Greven. Bizarrely, Greven flashes lights at Williams. So, unfortunately for the rest of us, he's found that button as well. So,
it looks like he's stopped the lights now.
But Williams up to 7th position. Sorry, up 7th position from where he started. Sorry, is the thing for him.
While this battle's been going on, Jack Sedgwick's managed to increase his gap to 3.3 seconds now, so things are going very well at the front. And there he is. We did mention Trulli and Suttle from 2009. That accident wasn't too dissimilar from it, with cars going off all over the place at that particular part of the circuit.
Oh yeah, it was going on left, right, and centre, wasn't it? There was all sorts happening on the way up to Ferradura. Where's the battle now? Then it's the Gregory Carlisle battle, isn't it? 3rd, 4th, and 5th. It's the battle for the public. Williams is in there. Here it is.
Oh, took a lot of curves there.
There's a few combustible elements in here. Gregory and Greven together. I don't have faith in this lasting too long, or anyone really coming out positively from this.
Well, let's see if you're right there. Here comes Gregory. He's blocked on the inside there by Greven. Is he going to try and go around the outside there? No, he goes a bit wide, and everybody goes wide.
Here we go. Here it comes.
No, you called it. And they just about survived.
You don't need to have a crystal ball to work out that that's going to happen.
The lights tell you everything. Then
This is what happens when you commentate on. Oh, here we go, and there comes the send. Yep. More contact. Yep. And then Pico di Pato, there'll be another send. Oh, there's one already. There you go. Dear me.
Pico di Pato.
Is there another one? There'll be another one. Oh, there isn't another one. Oh, somebody's seen some sense at last.
It's all over though. Free
Still battling for 4th place, Adam, as well, unbelievably.
On to John Cow they go, and Tyler Vickery is in this fight as well.
Here we go. We need to keep the camera on this because, well, it's like one of those cartoons where people get into a fist fight. It's just a ball of smoke and flailing limbs.
What, just with massive onomatopoeia on the screen, like crash and ow and...
That's what we need for the broadcast.
Oh, Gregory up the inside, then he's very late on the brakes. Is he going to make the corner, more importantly? Sort of. Yeah. And round the outside goes, oh, he's off his Greven. He's managed to just about keep it on the island. Ross McFarlane's trying to go around the outside of him, though.
Good move by Thompson in the background as well. He just took Jack Styles, McFarlane, like you say. Oh, Vickery's on the grass. Dear me.
Spotter says clear, so he moves across, does Ross McFarlane.
I know it's legal in several American states, but not in the middle of a touring car race. Oh, now Styles trying to go around the outside of Tyler. Oh, have that, he says. Gets the elbows out a bit. Decides enough is enough on that one. But yeah, Greven and Gregory, I can see that one coming. I'm absolutely mile off. This is Balfour and John Roberts. John Roberts has sort of bounced off quite a lot of things in this race meeting as well. Either been punted or doing the punting.
That's John Cow again. We've just gone past the halfway point in this third and final race of the day as Ross Balfour's car, the front right does not look in good shape at all. Almost looked like it was dragging across the ground as it came through that final corner.
I mean, it might be. It might be at this point. This is the point in the meeting where everybody just throws it all out of the window and says to hell with it. Fastest lap, Jack Sedgwick, 143.1 at 43.6 for Williams. Craig Williams trying to put some sort of a fight on that lead position, but it's got up from 3.4 seconds to 4 seconds. Left 3 laps. This is Greven and Gregory, round 7, I think. Don't know who's ahead on the cards, to be honest. I don't know, but there might be a TKO or something anytime soon.
It's definitely not a judicial review or whatever you call it in boxing.
Well, that's his decision, yeah. Judicial review.
That's me.
That's like something you have to go and wear a wig for, isn't it? It's
Magistrates or something. Yeah. Here's Tyler Vickery.
Believe it or not, ladies and gentlemen. As around the outside goes Ross Balfour. There might be no review needed after this one. I think he's going to go through. And there he does go through. So Balfour up into 10th. And still Thompson's involved in this. If that Greven and Gregory battle, wasn't enough, we've now got Josh Thompson in the mix, which, I mean, you don't need me to tell you. It could be quite amazing, this, I think.
Well, yeah, Thompson's been flashing the lights for the last 2 laps. He's a man on a mission.
Oh, well, he does drive for Craig's setup shot, so of course he has.
A top 5 spot is within reach, and it's right in front of him. It's held by Ben Gregory, and he could even get 4th place. Ross McFarlane isn't too far away from these guys. He's only just over a second up the road as we ride on board with Tim Greven here as we come across the line. We might get one of the best views in the house of Thompson getting by Gregory. No chance of getting by there. At least not into the centre S. Left, right, and now for Curva de Sol we go.
I think the engineering division of Craig's setup shop is the electrical division, just a load of like trained chimpanzees or something, just sort of like wiring whatever they want as the headlights flash and blink and flash and blink, and it's going again. Look, Thompson this time is the one on the button. It's like the F1 car and the Indy car and the push to pass, isn't it?
You could almost do with that. The driver knows behind it's on by the lights flashing.
Thompson trying to go around the outside of Ben Gregory. Although Thompson is less likely to crash into Grevin because they are teammates, it also means he's probably more likely to crash into Gregory.
Not many people have got by Ben Gregory in this race. Only 2 people have.
It's hard to get past Ben Gregory. We've raced him in the past, and it's not easy. He's a tough cookie. Wojciech Zmirovic is getting some places as well. He's 14th.
That's despite going off the track quite massively earlier.
He was off in a big way, wasn't he? It's part of that big accident in the first few laps. Gregory, though, we've got to give him a lot of credit. You know, we have a bit of a joke about him, and you know, we do like to have fun with him. But he did win the AM category on a controller a few years back. That's 6 years ago now. So he can race well. He's very quick, and sometimes I do think, Adam, sometimes he can get the results that I think his ability warrants.
He won the Pro-Am Championship in this series on a controller many years ago.
I did just say that, to be fair.
I know.
Yeah.
It's worth saying again. Yes, I did know. I mentioned it about 10 seconds ago. Here comes Josh Thompson. He could be getting by.
I mean, you know.
I do listen to you most of the time, mate, I promise. As Thompson comes up the inside.
Oh, let's see then. Let's see if Gregory can keep it on the inside of Ferradura. He's got a chance. Oh, he bobbles though. He just hits he sort of hit the joint between the curb and the grass, and I think that sort of unsettled him. Who's that behind Grevin? It's actually Jason Cooper, who we've not seen for quite some time.
He's the biggest mover in the field. He's gained 18 places. He's been plugging away as Jason here.
He's one of the very quick men though in the field, is Cooper. He really is. And is he going to make short work of Grevin? Well, I think he's sensible there. He doesn't want to try and make a move into Yunxiao because it rarely works. Well, the move works, but it's rare that you keep it.
Yeah, it's almost pointless doing it. It's almost like turn 1 of Watkins Glen, like last week, where we were last week.
Yeah, it's not a bad overtaking place in isolation, but with what follows, it's kind of pretty pointless. Here comes Cooper then, around the outside of Grevin, who, to be fair to Grevin, he started on the front row. He's put up a good fight. He's bouncing over the curbs and he hits Cooper. So Cooper's going to hit him, I think. Yeah, he does. So Cooper hits Grevin on the way back through, and that allows Texans Fitzdyke car Jack Styles to make his move up into 8th place.
It's remarkable how much time they lost just by going side by side for that one corner. Here he comes. He's wasting no time almost as he looks up the inside. As
I thought he was committed then, Jack Styles. I was a bit scared something was going to go off.
Well, yeah, between the beginning of the centre S and the end, Tim Grevin lost 1 second to Ben Gregory. It's now 1.2 seconds as Cooper now has to try and get back by Styles. He's going to just about do it up the inside.
Well, that, without saying much, that'll probably please Ben Gregory quite a lot that he's 1 second ahead of him now. But we'll see what happens here. It's Cooper, Ross Balfour. Look at that flapping around.
God,
might come up any time. You never know. To be fair, it looks like it would just fall off. It doesn't look like it would flap up towards the driver. It just looks like it would jettison itself from the car.
Yeah. Don't know why that tickled me, but okay.
It's just going to lift off completely. Now, this is what we've all been waiting for, because Cooper's got the run on Grevin. Balfour's got the run on the pair of them. Just behind them, you've got Jack Styles and Jamie Rushworth, who we can't even see as well. Oh, this is Balfour though. The straight line speed, Adam, he's really suffering though.
God, for the 2nd consecutive race as well. Here comes
Styles is going to drive clean past him here.
Nothing he can do. It's almost like the turbo diesels back in the World Touring cars.
Yeah. Oh, that was horrendous, wasn't it? It was
Especially-
in BTCC like that as well, wasn't it, with the Seat and things?
Especially at the altitude races. This would probably be one of them. The Seats were just in a world of their own at places like that.
It's like Curitiba and
Puebla in Mexico, and yeah.
Oh, it's a good battle, this, actually. Apologies to the front runners because we're not showing them, but frankly, it's because they're not doing anything interesting, boy. What's happened to oh, Ash Sutton and Kip Stevens have been off. Is that with each other? That'd be fun to watch.
Frolicking about in the infield here.
Look at Sutton's car. If any two drivers could sort of manage to, I wonder if this is just a normal off at the Interlagos. Actually, might not be as interesting as first feared. It's a shame.
Sparks flying from his car. There's as he goes along there. He's got Sean Gardner in front, who we saw in difficulty earlier. And I think he might have to go through a bit more of it as the former BTCC champion closes in.
Sutton might make it up to that group that we were watching. Yeah, he's well, maybe this group here with Vickery and. Well, that's a bad line for Tyler, and I think that's going to be Hedgecock through. Yeah, surely for Hedgecock. Up into 15th. I don't know if he's going to be able to keep this one. Oh, Tim Grevin, it says he's into the pit
He's in
lane.
the pits.
He is indeed in the pit lane, so don't know what that's about, but it puts Cooper up into 7th, Balfour 8th.
Right, the question is, how many incidents is he on? It's always a drive-through penalty, it looks
Was
like.
he put there by any chance? Was he maybe put there by out of his... Can we see a replay of him entering the pits quickly just to make sure?
Oh, hang on.
Like...
He's got 21 incidents. It's 17, and then you get a penalty after that. Yeah,
it's a drive-through penalty. So he's just come in. I wondered because it is one of those pit lanes where it is possible for somebody to just sort of force you in the pit lane almost. Well, we're on the we're on the last lap here, Adam, and that's flown by.
And here's one man who hasn't had to encounter too much difficulty. He got to the lead quite early on, did Jack Sedgwick, and since then he hasn't looked back really at all, and he's got a 5.8 second lead for good measure as he comes into Juncal for the final time.
Yeah, Jack Sedgwick then, brilliant performance, and well, race 2 was a disaster, but he's made race 3 his own, and here he comes then over the line, and he's going to take the win here at Interlagos. Round 3 of the Showdown in the 2020 ARLTC goes to Jack Sedgwick, and Ross McFarlane I think has just taken 3rd from Kevin Carlisle.
Oh yeah, it's going to be Kvyat versus Hamilton style here. No, sorry, Gasly v Hamilton style over the line as McFarlane with what I think was a move into Jun Chao at the bottom of the hill as unfortunately stopped Kevin Carlisle getting on the podium. What's happening here?
Sean Gardner's going slowly. There's a few cars going slowly actually. Sutton, is he out of fuel?
I don't know, he's letting someone back through, but
maybe he's got. It looks. Oh, he's got damage.
Have
He's
they
got really bad damage? I wonder if he's
hit the Mark Webber wall or the Fernando Alonso wall or something?
had an accident or something on the last lap, maybe. Oh, we've got a replay here.
There it is. Starting from Pico de Passo through Mergulio here, the compression through the left-hander. Then
this lot then were all together and ended up apart, so something's gone off.
Starts with Vickery getting into the back of somebody. There's
nudges with the Hesketh car.
That's Johnston. Oh! Fortunately, carries on.
Did he let Gardner through? Did he?
It must be. Was that Grevin? Was it? That was.
Yeah, it was Grevin.
Right through the middle.
And the Sutton let Sean Gardner through, I think, at the end. So, yeah, decent sportsmanship by Sutton. And oh well, I tell you what a race meeting we've experienced here tonight. It's been fantastic. As Cedric crashed into a palm tree. But yeah, you don't see that every day, ladies and gentlemen. But yeah, fantastic race meeting, Adam. And we sound like a broken record, really, but it's always fantastic when we come back here.
we've been covering this championship as a whole for 6 years now, and we just can't step away from it. And neither can we stop racing at this circuit either. I think we've been here pretty much every year we've been doing it, and I think that's why they put it in the Showdown. It's one of the fan favourites and one of the drivers' favourites as well. And next week we go to, well, completely the opposite, in Suzuka East, where there pretty much is no room to breathe at all. It's just one front straight and then endless turns through the famous S's and then back onto the front straight to start another lap. We'll preview that in a moment, but first the race results are on the screen, and it's Jack Cedric that wins, with Craig Williams second and Ross McFarlane completing the podium with a very late overtake on Kevin Carlisle. He'll be quite sad about that, I'll imagine. Josh Thompson completes the top 5, then it's Ben Gregory in 6th. Not many people got by Ben Gregory, only 3 people to finish 6th. Jason Cooper 7th, Ross Balfour 8th, Jamie Rushworth 9th, and Jack Stiles completing the top 10. Wojciech Savidovic dodged a bullet, or many bullets that were flying at him through that middle sector when that big crash unfolded. He finished 11th in the end as a reward for that. 12th for Michael Evdoka, then it's Adam Hedgecock and John Roberts. Tyler Vickery in 15th place. And then Mark Johnston and Tim Greven, despite picking up a late race penalty for picking up so many incidents, finished in 17th place. Kip Stevens 18th in the top 1.5 dozen there for the reigning champion. Former champion, I should say. 19th for Sean Gardner, and Ash Sutton finished where he started in 20th place. 21st for Jose Malbran. Dave Baker somehow managed to get the car to the finish. That car was in bits when it went flying off into the wall on the exit of the Silla de Largo. Lee Berridge 23rd, Pete Harrod 24th, Rob Graham in 25th place, and then Ben Palmer just over a minute behind in 26th. He and Mark Woodhouse were very close on the run to the line there. Woodhouse was buried in the tyres as well at the start of the race, I think. No, that was Scott Malcolm. Apologies there. Pete Newman 28th place, 29th for Nathan Davis, 30th for Adam Hadfield, 31st for George Simmons, who first had the contacts at Silla de Largo, and then everybody ran into the back of him when they came through the left-hander and saw his SDK gaming car there. Matt Bunn 9 laps down, Simon Field 10 laps down, Luke Cooper out early on, so too Scott Malcolm. He was that Team Mad car that we saw parks in the wall at the Centre S, and Jake Blackwell was also there. Those two did not have very long races at all. They were out within seconds of the lights going out.
Yeah, and Josh Thompson joins us now. Josh, welcome back to the commentary box. It looked like an absolutely fantastic night's racing to be a part of. Yeah, take us through your evening.
I'm speechless, to be honest. Best meeting of the season for me, and it comes in the Showdown round 1 when it mattered the most. So yeah, I kind of got lucky with some incidents what happened. Race 2, turn 1. Obviously, race 1 as well, with the top 3 battling so hard. I just managed to get a lucky podium out of it. So yeah, finally got a bit of luck on my side. Just got to hope it carries on for the rest of the season going forward.
Am I right in thinking you have an actual life spotter for this week?
Yeah, I had Carl, one of the guys who I've known for quite a while. He does a bit of oval spotting, so yeah, I just thought it'd help with the Showdown. Obviously, it matters now the most. It definitely helped in race 2. In turn 1, there's a massive pile up, and lucky enough having him, that bailed me out. So I couldn't actually see anything because I had Ash in front of me.
We were just seeing you bouncing off a couple of cars in turns 1 and 2 in race 3. In that race, you came from 19th on the grid. How did the overcast conditions change the race for you?
To be honest, it was actually kind of nice. Startly. Obviously with race 1 and 2 being really hot, it's kind of nice to have a bit of grip. The issue is, because you're so used to being so hot, it takes a bit longer for the tyres to go up. So you would see lap 3 or 4, people would go into like turn 4, for instance, or turn 1, and we just lose the rear end very easily. I did it in race 1 in the heat, so lucky enough I could back up a little bit and just take a bit more time. But I think, yeah, to be honest, it was better being cold than it was so hot. Race 1 was okay because obviously it got hotter and hotter through the race, so you didn't mind it. But race 2, I think it was like 48C to start with, and yeah, it wasn't pretty.
In terms of the rest of the Showdown, then, you must be confident after the performance tonight.
Yeah, I was thinking before, I was speaking to Craig before it all started, you need to maximise your points at the first 2 races. Here in Suzuka, I think it's where we go next, are very important. Because after that, we go to Bathurst and Daytona. Daytona, anyone can win if they're in the train. And Bathurst, all it takes you to be caught up in one pile down the mountain, and you can lose 40 points. So you need to nail these 6 races here and then at Suzuka to make the most of a showdown, which I think I managed to do here quite nicely.
Yeah, we've seen some almighty pile-ups at Bathurst over the years, and yeah, anyone can win there as well. Josh, before we let you go, if you want to do the usual, give you a shout out to your sponsors, your friends and family, whoever.
Yeah, so obviously you guys, firstly, for the broadcasting, great as always on the Esports Network.
We'll give you
all the
later,
admins,
thank you.
all the admins for the league, they did a great job, obviously, getting everything sorted. Carl, who was my spotter for the race, I can't thank him enough for jumping on for doing this. And then obviously Williams Esports, Craig's Out Shop, and then Chill Blast, Team Razor, BenQ, PlaySeat, Fanatec, and One All Sports.
Lovely. Well, thank you very much. Adam, have you got anything for Josh before he goes?
No, just a well done, mate. I probably would have needed a real life spotter as well if I was out there.
Well, thanks a lot, Josh, for joining us again, and hopefully we'll catch you next week as well.
Cheers, guys. See you later.
Cheers.
Josh is loving life. The Isle of Man have stopped social distancing now.
Well, to be fair, isn't that just them anyway? Like, it's quite a rural place, isn't it? So, not quite spread out anyway there. I don't know. You've been there a few times, haven't you?
Yeah. There's Douglas, and then there's not much after that, really.
Hey, it's a lovely place, though. Hopefully, and again, you know, we do say, and we were saying it all over through the last so many weeks. It's kind of lost a bit of focus, but you know, everybody still needs to stay safe and do what you can to, you know, protect against the virus, and obviously, you know, if it involves staying in and watching Apex Racing TV and the iRacing Esports Network, then you know we completely subscribe to that course of advice, shall we say. Here's Lee Berridge joining us with Adam.
Oh, Lee, welcome to the commentary box.
Hello, second week running.
Oh yeah, it boosted. I'd say it's been an interesting night again for you. 23rd in the third race, but tell us about your race meeting as a whole. Race 1 and race 2, I remember you getting right in the thick of the action.
Yeah, I don't know what was going on tonight. Obviously, first week of Showdown. I'm pretty certain that there was an announcement just as the race started that someone at the back of the field had coronavirus and everyone was trying to escape them. It was just, you know, elbows were out from turn 1. Race 1, I picked up huge damage, and I think I went from 17th, and by the end of the straight on lap 2, I was down to about 30th. But you know, that played into my hands really, because I finished ahead of Wodge, and it put me in, I think it was 3rd or 4th for race 2, and yeah, it was 4th because I can't remember who I overtook, but managed to hold on to Wodge and Jamie, and they were battling a little bit, and I thought, please don't battle too much, because I could see Dave come in and George and Ash, and I thought I'm just going to get swallowed up, but managed to hold on. It was a great race 2, and then race 3 was yet again another repeat of round 1.
Yeah, did you manage to avoid the big wreck early on in race 3?
I was literally, I think I was the 2nd or 3rd car as that was happening and unfolding, and just, it was a Days of Thunder moment.
Because all I remember, Adam, was there were two blue boosted cars crashed. I think Field was in it as well.
Yeah, so Hedge braked to avoid it, but of course he announced it as he was braking, but I didn't quite brake hard enough and gave him a little love tap. We do like our Hedge.
It's all your fault then, isn't it? Basically.
No, it's not. No. And then Simon lost it and hit into the side of me, and again, I just picked up damage. I'm not blaming the team. It was just one of those. No. No. But no, I'm absolutely over the moon with round 2. That for me was the highlight of the season so far. That was such a good scrap, and to be able to hold on to the lead pack like that, and even actually consider trying to put a move on them. But I just played the sensible game and stuck with them, stayed in their draft, and it paid off.
Well, can we let the good times roll all the way through to Suzuka next week? That's the question.
Oh, I hope so. I don't know if I've gained or lost anything tonight. It's a bit of an odd round. I don't know. I don't know how I've done. I don't know if I've done well or not. I'll have to have a look.
Just quickly, Lee, before we let you go, does it give you confidence a race like that, race 2, for the future, that potentially you can kick on and maybe make that a more regular occurrence?
Yeah, I don't know. I certainly don't have the talent that the rest of this field have got. I firmly consider myself a sort of mid-pack runner. But every now and again, I find a track, and strangely, I don't like Brazil. But I've had this happen a couple of times. Tracks I don't like, I do better at. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I can, if I put a bit more commitment in. Obviously, with my work, I really struggle to put any hours in on this. But maybe I can push on a little bit. Maybe get myself up to, the top third. That would be nice. It's obviously coming though, because I'm doing okay. I'm in the Showdown in the AM, so that shows something.
Yeah.
It's all about consistency, I guess.
Oh yeah. Something we don't know too much about. Wait, well, I don't know about you. Are any of the boosted crew doing the Le Mans 24 Hours at the weekend?
They are. I think a lot of them are doing it. They've got a mixed bag, and good luck to them. I'm sure they'll do well. I really wanted to join them, but I'm working, so yeah. Unfortunately, my line of work, I can't commit.
I've got to try and fit my stints in between shifts, which is going to be, which makes me wonder why I even decided I was going to do it in the first place. But
we're just seeing on the replay here, you the race 3 crash.
Yeah, same for me, working around shift, and I finish at midnight, and I thought, well, I could do a middle of the night stint, but after a full shift, coming home, chucking the computer
tough,
on,
man.
and and being competitive, I don't want to ruin it for the guys, and I probably would, so I'll leave the pros to it.
There you go. Before we let you go then, Lee, do you want to send a quick shout out to anyone?
Just the team, they've done well. Great season so far. We're in the Showdown, and it's all down to good team communication between us. We're all working together really well. I had a gap from the team for a year or so, but come straight back into it, and it's just the same great environment. Hopefully we can win it.
Best of luck. Hopefully you're not
good
enough.
to have you back, mate.
Yeah. Best
thank
of luck. Good to hear from you for 2 weeks. All the best to your teammates at Le Mans as well. Hopefully they're not in our split.
We were in your split. We were in their split last time.
Well, oh god, yeah, we were.
Yeah,
3 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were definitely in our split. We were the quicker team.
There's no hiding that.
We had damage. I won't name who caused the damage, Lee, but he's in this box.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Alex finished us off. Alex got finished off, I should say.
Enough said about
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, it makes you wonder why we bother. Lee, well done. And
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, and we'll hopefully speak to you again next week.
Yeah, nice talking to you. Take care.
Cheers. Always good to speak with Lee Berryzone. 2 weeks in a row, Adam, is quite a rare thing. But yeah, he had a great race too, and it was fun to see him up with the big boys, really.
Yeah, it was really good, especially when it looked like for a brief moment they were going to start to edge away, and then they started battling, and then Lee closed right up to the back of them. So it must have been great for him. And as he mentioned, the consistency, if you can keep that, then the Pro-Am Championship could be really exciting. I'm hoping that by the time we get to Suzuka next week, we'll have the point situation sorted out. I'm just having a quick refresh of the website to see if we do have the points in before we sign off, because I know we are quite short of time. It doesn't look like it, but we'll hopefully be able to bring that to you this time next week.
Yeah, and well, in the meantime, thank you everybody for watching tonight on the iRacing Esports Network.
and on the Apex Racing TV's YouTube channel as well. We wouldn't be doing this if people didn't watch it, so thank you very much for that. And well done to everybody tonight. Great driving. We just loved every minute of it. It's always great when we come to Interlagos. So from Andrew Woodhouse and Adam Bath and Sam Kumo, who's provided great camera work as usual, it's goodbye from us this week, and we'll see you at Suzuka. Good night.